Okay, it is the IUPAC name of glycine 2-amino-ethanoic acid. Similarly, if R in the general form of amino acid is replaced by methyl group, it is called alanine. What is the IUPAC name of alanine? So, say this is the parent chain. Okay, the carboxylic carbon should be given first number 1. This is the second carbon, this is the third carbon. Amino group is present in second carbon. So, 2-amino, okay, root word is 3, that is prop. So, prop, C single bond, C is there. So, N, a COH group is present, secondary suffix is oic acid. So, 2-amino propanoic acid. This is the IUPAC name of alanine. Okay, IUPAC name of glycine is okay, 2-amino-ethanoic acid. Okay, so a question may be asked like this. What is that question? The amino acid which cannot show optical isomerism is, okay, it is glycine. Why it cannot show optical isomerism? What is the formula of glycine? Here in the place of R, hydrogen is present. This is the glycine. So a substance shows optical isomerism when it contains at least one chiral carbon. Okay, what is a chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon? If it forms 4 single bonds with 4 different atoms or groups, then it is called asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. So here it is bonded with 2 hydrogens. So it is not a chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. So it cannot show optical isomerism. Instead of glycine, they may ask or they may give in the options IUPAC names. So instead of glycine, they may give 2-amino-ethanoic acid. This is 2-amino-ethanoic acid. Okay, so you have to give IUPAC names for this also, right? And another important IIT or NEET bit is the amino acid which has secondary amine group, or imine group. Secondary amine group, NH2 primary amine, NH secondary amine, okay, and N tertiary amine group. So here secondary amine group. In all the amino acids, we will have primary amine group. In one amino acid, secondary amine group is present. It is proline. So structure of proline is COOH, CH, NH. Okay, this is secondary amine group. CH2, 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 CHCOOH. Okay, is this contains a chiral carbon? Yes. See this carbon, it is bonded with hydrogen, COOH group, NH group and CH2 group. So it has chiral carbon, so it can show optical isomerism. The amino acid that cannot show optical isomerism is glycine. The amino acid which contains a secondary amine is proline. These are the important questions. And how to determine or how to identify whether the given amino acid is essential amino acid or non-essential amino acid. How to remember amino acids, essential amino acids. Okay, there is a small trick to remember those essential amino acids. So essential amino acids. Essential amino acids. Okay. You remember this letter, that is M, T, V, high tech, MTV, high tech pillar, MTV, high tech pillar. Okay. What is M? Say M stands for methionine. 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 Here there are T tech. Say for T, this is threonine. Threonine. Say this is for tech for tryptophan. Tryptophan. Okay. V, valine. Valine. HI, histidine. Histidine. P, phenylalanine. Phenylalanine. I, isoleucine. Isoleucine. Say 1L for leucine. 1L for leucine and second L for lysine. Second L for lysine. A for arginine. Arginine. Okay. Among 20 amino acids, alpha amino acids, which synthesize or which are involved in the synthesis of protein, 10 are essential amino acids and other 10 are non-essential amino acids. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are essential amino acids. Okay. To identify which one of the following is an essential amino acid or which one of the following is a non-essential amino acid. You can identify essential amino acids using this one, MTV high-tech pill. Okay. Other amino acids which are not present in this MTV high-tech pill are non-essential amino acids. Right? Next, amino acids based on the number of NH2 groups, based on number of NH2 groups and number of COOH groups, these are divided into acidic amino acids, basic amino acids and neutral amino acids. If number of NH2 groups is equal to number of COOH groups, then it is acidic. It is neutral amino acid. It is neutral amino acid. Right? If number of NH2 groups is greater than number of COOH groups, then it will be basic amino acid. That amino acid will have basic nature. That amino acid will have basic nature. Similarly, if N COOH groups, number of COOH groups are greater than number of NH2 groups, then it will be acidic in nature. It will be acidic in nature. So, in this way, we can identify whether the amino acid has acidic nature or basic nature or it is neutral in nature. Right? Next, if we observe some physical properties of amino acids are solids. Okay? And these amino acids will have important concept. Amino acids have salt-like properties. They have salt-like properties in aqueous solutions. In aqueous solutions. Why they have salt-like properties in aqueous solutions? Because these amino acids exist as Zwitter ions. The amino acids exist as a Zwitter ions. Okay. So what is the formula of general formula of amino acid? CHR COOH, okay, and NH2. If a proton transfers from COOH group to NH2 group, then we will get a structure like this. Okay, so this is called Zwitter ion. This is called Zwitter ion. Okay, so as amino acid has Zwitter ion like structure, it acts as a salt, or it shows salt like properties in aqueous solutions. Why it exists as Zwitter ion? This is due to the transfer of proton from COOH group to NH2 group. Okay, so if this Zwitter ions are placed in acidic solutions, what happens? Say it is taken in acidic solution, then it will have cationic nature. Why it will have cationic nature? This H plus ions combine with the COO minus to give COOH, CHR, NH3 plus. So this is cationic in nature. Positive, it has positive charge. If it has positive charge, it moves towards cathode. Okay. Similarly, if it is kept in basic solutions, the H plus ion of NH3 group and this OH minus ion convert into water, or removed as a water and convert into NH2 CHR COO minus. That means it will have negative charge or anionic nature. So in basic solutions, it has anionic nature, it moves towards anode. It migrates towards anodes. Okay. So in acidic solution, amino acid migrates towards cathode, and in basic solution, it migrates towards anode. That means the migration of amino acid depends on the pH. pH means acidic or basic nature is given by pH. Okay. So it depends on the pH. At a certain pH, this amino acid does not migrate either towards cathode or towards anode. Okay. Such pH is called isoelectric point. That pH is called isoelectric point of amino acid. Isoelectric point of amino acid. Okay. So what is isoelectric point of amino acid? The pH of amino acid. At which it does not migrate. Either towards cathode or anode. In electric field is called that pH is called isoelectric point. Okay, this is an important concept in IIT or JEE. For the amino acids which are useful in protein synthesis have isoelectric point. That isoelectric point ranges between 5.5 to 6.3. 5.5 to 6.3. That means for say glycine, it is some 5.6. Alanine, it will be some 5.8, like that. For phenylalanine, it may be some 6, etc. What is the use of this isoelectric point? Or At isoelectric point, the solubility of amino acid is less. At isoelectric point, at that pH, the solubility of that amino acid is less. The solubility of amino acid is less. Amino acid is less. Solubility is less means it tries to exist in solid state, right? Based on that property, we separate a particular amino acid from the mixture of amino acids. For example, say the isoelectric point of say glycine is 5.6. Okay, we have to separate that glycine from the mixture of amino acids. By adding acid or base, if we convert the pH to 5.6, then glycine crystallizes out or glycine converts into solid, but other amino acids remain in the solution. By filtering, that glycine is separated, from the mixture. That is the use of isoelectric point, importance of isoelectric point. Okay, so this is about isoelectric point of amino acid. And then amino acids participate in protein synthesis. So how they participate in protein synthesis? First up, we discuss formation of peptides. Formation of peptides or peptide bond. Formation of peptides or peptide bond. When two or more same amino acids or different amino acids undergo condensation. Condensation means removal of H2O, NH3, HCl like molecules from the mixture of substances. That is called condensation. So when two or more amino acids undergo condensation, then peptides are formed. They may be same amino acids or different amino acids. Say it is glycine. Okay, CH2 COOH NH2. Okay, we will write COOH like this, plus NH2 CH, I am taking here alanine, CH3 COOH. If these two undergo condensation, say water is removed like this. Water is removed like this. So minus water. Okay, how to write the structure of remaining compound? NH2 CH2. Okay, I am writing like this. NH2 CH2 CONH CH CH3 COOH. Okay, this CONH bond is called peptide bond. This is called peptide bond. And this entire molecule is called a dipeptide. Dipeptide. Okay, dipeptide. So why it is called dipeptide? It is formed by the combination of two amino acids. Two amino acids. That is, here it is glycine and it is alanine. Okay. So if two or more amino acids combine together by peptide bond, then they are called as peptides. If three amino acids undergo condensation, then it is called tripeptide. In tripeptide, how many peptide bonds are present? Two peptide bonds. In dipeptide, one. In another peptide, if we take tripeptide, another peptide bond will be present. Okay. So number of peptide bonds is equal to number of peptide bonds. Number of peptide bonds is equal to number of amino acids minus 1. Number of amino acids minus 1. Okay. So say for example 100 amino acids undergo condensation. Okay. How many peptide bonds are present in that peptide? 99, like that. Okay. Right. How to give names for the peptides? Okay. We generally write from NH2 terminal to COOH terminal. We start from NH2 terminal. While giving names to the peptide, the amino acid, in amino acid INE is present. This INE is replaced by YL. INE is replaced by YL from NH2 terminal to COH terminal, and the amine in the which contains COOH terminal will be named as it is. Okay. For example, here glycine combines with the alanine. So the name of this dipeptide may be given as glycine. GLYSINE. INE is replaced by YL. Glycyl. This is alanine. So glycyl alanine. Okay. Sometimes these may be termed if large number of amino acids are present. We have it is difficult to give like this. Difficult to give name like this. So then code is added. For glycine G is given, and for alanine A is given. Okay, like that we write. Or abbreviation also given. Abbreviation GLY ELA, like that. GLY ELA, like that. Okay. So this is about formation of peptides. If up to 100 amino acids, participate in peptide formation, then that peptide is called oligopeptide. Okay. The peptide formed up to 100 amino acids, formed by up to 100 amino acids, it is called oligopeptide. So these oligopeptides act as hormones. Hormones are oligopeptides. Okay. The